Hello, this is Stephen Hernandez with Stephen Hernandez Nonprofit Fundamentals. Um, if you're watching this and you have a TV, a phone, or anything like that, you have no doubt seen the unrest throughout the country as a result of the murder of Mr. Floyd, and not just that, just all the other cases of black persons being killed by law enforcement officials or or white citizens, and that's caused obviously a lot of unrest, both political on the streets, a lot of conversations I think internally for a lot of us, and within the nonprofit sector. So I wanted to do what I could, if you'll bear with me, in terms of like my skill set, which is in terms of the nonprofit community and now in philanthropy as well. Um, I'm going to try and summarize some immediate things, some medium term things, and some long term things that you can all do, that we can all do to support Black Lives Matter specifically, or just people of color in general, but really specifically African Americans and the Black Lives Matter movement. So, if you're new to my channel, again, my name is Stephen Hernandez. This is Stephen Hernandez's Nonprofit Fundamentals. You can kindly click on subscribe to learn more about the resources I provide. Click on that bell to get notifications about the work that I do. I share a lot of nonprofit resources, which is really what I want to do today. In addition, I also, the other half of my channel is about marriage and relationships, which is something I'm going to be doing another video about later on today. But with such a heavy topic, I really wanted to kind of speak from what my own knowledge is, which is in the nonprofit community, the nonprofit world, and philanthropy. So in the short term, if you are able to and you feel that you can, make your voice known on the streets. Be there as a supporter. That's really what people are literally putting their bodies on the line. And that's something that you could definitely do in the area that you're knowledgeable about. If you're not able to, there are so many places you can donate to. Probably, again, the short-term need would be bail fund, legal defense, things of that nature. I would definitely encourage you to look locally in terms of the organizations that you could potentially support. But in the medium and the longer term, what are some things that I think we should all really start to think hard about supporting and think really, again, as the nonprofit community? On the medium term and the short term, if you are not aware of your local Affirm chapter, which is a intersectional feminist organization, primarily of black and brown women across the country and in Puerto Rico, so internationally as well. Your local Affirm chapter, which as far as I know, are all really volunteer run. They do amazing, amazing work behind the scenes, academically, on the front lines, some truly, truly amazing people. I would strongly encourage you to donate to your local Affirm chapter. They could certainly use your financial support. I'm sure they're always recruiting and looking for new members to who can volunteer them. So that would be a great thing. Something else that you can do is seek out black and brown business owners. Again, in this time, black business owners, black creatives, black artists, who I'm sure are really, really hurting right now and could really use not just your clicks, not just your likes, but your dollars. They really could use your financial support to really make sure that their art, their work, what have you, is really getting out there. So that's something that you can do as well. And the more, again, now we're getting to the medium and the longer term, is if you're a nonprofit, I would strongly encourage you to think about who is on your board. Okay, if you're a nonprofit leader, who is on your board? Is your board diverse? And by that, I mean both the capital and the little d. Is it diverse in terms of the neighborhood or the communities that you seek to serve? So, if your board primarily serves a black or brown audience, do you have board members who are black or brown from that community? Do they really truly have a voice in your organization? If you're a nonprofit, are you prepared to have awkward, difficult conversations with your funder? despite the power differences that exist, about their reluctance to fund things that you feel would be very important for the community. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I don't know. But if your funder has historically funded things around like in community improvement, which maybe would be like urban gardens or things of that nature, but perhaps things need to go into more legal defense. It needs to be centered on things like zoning laws or what have you. That is something that the nonprofit community really needs to be able to do, to have a conversation with their funders about, we really need to fund things that will make a stronger impact on racial and social justice issues. In terms of resources I want to leave you with, again, if you're looking to find resources for your new nonprofit, there's this wonderful conference which is called Money for Your Movements. So it's really for your grassroots, really small organizations. And again, this is, to me, is a whole other video about how the nonprofit and philanthropic community is really, by design, very adverse to quote-unquote controversy, very adverse to quote-unquote political things. So especially at this time, I think you're going to see organizations and foundations running in different directions. I think some of them will really try to stay away from anything that they deem is quote-unquote controversial, and some will try to embrace that in terms of whether just support or perhaps funds. There really needs to be a place where you can find, as a nonprofit, funds that will support your work. So there's the Resist Fund. There is the, I think, biannual conference, which is called Money for Your Movements. There are, again, not your local Affirm chapters, which do some just tremendous work on all kinds of different issues. For those who may be watching in the United Kingdom, but now due to COVID-19, you can see it throughout the world, there's a wonderful organization that seeks to educate people on all kinds of different issues, which is called A is for Activism, which is a tremendous organization as well. These kinds of things that educate people, that mobilize people, that help people organize, and however way you want to do that, really, really need your support right now. Small dollar donations could really add up to them. Bail funds are critically needed, as always. Pro bono legal work. Those are the kinds of things that are quote unquote not very glamorous, but really, really are needed at time right now. So again, that was just off the top of my head. I'm still just kind of groping in my own way to use the skills that I have. So, if you're a nonprofit leader, I'm happy, especially if you're really working in these movements. If you would like me to just review some grants for you, help you find some stuff, I would be happy to do that. Just comment below, in the comments, and I do my best to respond. I hope this was helpful in some form or fashion. I think for all of us, we just want to try and kind of use the skills that we have. So shout out to all those organizations who are doing some really, truly amazing and brave work. Obviously, Black Lives Matters. Continue to share those resources, tag people, share this video with them if it was at all helpful. Again, my name is Steven Hernandez. If you want to connect with me on Instagram, I'm Steven Hernandez 875. Please like and subscribe if this video was helpful to you. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe out there if at all possible. All the best to you, and take care.